At this place in history, we're in St. Albans with Executive Director of the Vermont Historical Society, Steve Perkins. What are we doing today?
We're going to be talking about Taylor Park. Beautiful green space, or shall we say white space, behind us here, and its importance to the city of St. Albans.
Taylor Park's really an iconic part of St. Albans. When and how did it come to be?
It is. So Taylor Park's really the village green, right? It's this kind of this town common, a center of activity, and it was a deliberate gift. So Taylor was a local farmer who donated the land and fenced it off so that it could be preserved for common use. Had a lot of different uses over the years and a lot of imagined uses that never came to be. So for a time, it was likely some grazing land. There were two wells, public wells, that operated out of the park for a while. There was actually a famous Vermont legal history, a famous court case in the 1820s. A local resident claimed that he had connections to the original deed, built a barn on the property and defended it with his firearm and dared anyone to kind of come and take the land from him, and was lost in court. And the land was sort of recognized that it belonged to the community of St. Albans. At one time it was thought maybe it would be used for sporting fields, and that never materialized. Mainly it's known for its memorials. So there's a Civil War memorial in the park, a World War I memorial.
I think you can't talk about Taylor Park and not mention the fountain.
The fountain is sort of the crowning jewel of the park, if you will. The fountain we know now today is different than what it originally looked like. That was actually a gift from J. Gregory Smith, famous name, in 1887, who wanted this sort of centerpiece for the park. So at one time there was a bridge, there was a small pond and some running water. Today we just have the fountain that remains. Beautiful, an example of architecture, something that the community has really treasured over the years and in fact has been part of recent restoration efforts. The mid to early 2000s there was a recognition that weather was going to keep the pieces at risk, that there was a chance for further decline due to exposure over the years and that repair wasn't an option. So the decision was made to actually recast the figures of the original fountain. So this was a large community effort spearheaded by the Rotary Club. Originally, I should mention, the statues came from New York City, right? In 1887, the Fisk Company, who was responsible for monuments all around the U.S., was responsible for this one. This was actually taken down, dismantled, driven to Alabama. All the statues recast down there. The originals were given back to the community, 3 of which are here preserved at the museum. The others are with the town and the city and the organizations that were part of this project.
What is the park used for today then?
So we're really glad that that original vision and goal is still being met. Families still utilize the green space today. In 2014 there was the commemoration, the 150th of the St. Albans Raid. There was a festival and a reenactment. We have the Maple Festival. As you know, St. Albans is the maple capital of the world. So we have our Maple Festival there each year. There are concerts in the park, a Veterans Day ceremony with students and veterans honoring their service. So through the seasons, you can really see people still coming together and using the green for what it was originally intended. And the fountain remains a central point today.
At this place in history,